There's been a lot of talk this week about a study that came out, and it said that 16% of adult Americans read for pleasure. Honestly, I may or may not have thought, wow, 16% of Americans read? Okay, maybe I didn't really think that. Did that number surprise you? Apparently, it's down quite a bit since 2003. And well, yeah, there's going to be a lot of contributing factors, right? A lot has happened in the world since 2003, a lot of inventions, a lot of technology. We always go back to blaming our phones. The number of people reading isn't what surprised me. What surprises me is that how much that number has fallen compared to how much book content I see out there. You know what I mean? You go online and you see people talking about their reading challenges, or they're talking about the latest romantasy book, or you see people just talking about their beautiful collections. You see videos and pictures of people's gorgeous libraries, and to think we are reading so much less, that is kind of what baffles me. Maybe what's happening is we are stressing ourselves out about our reading. I want to share my thoughts on that today, and then I hope you share your thoughts back in the comments. So first of all, let's kind of talk about some of the book things I see on the internet. One is challenges. I've done challenges before. So one that I used to do was a Kindle reading challenge. And I kind of enjoyed it because your Kindle automatically tracks how much you read, and you'll get these little dopamine bursts when it says, oh, congratulations on day 125 of this challenge that you've been reading every day. Then something will happen. Maybe your life got busy one day and you got into bed after midnight and you opened your book. Now it goes on the next day instead of the previous day. Your streak is broken. That dopamine hit is gone. I see on Reddit chats and this kind of thing where people are talking about, how can I go back and reset my Kindle because I promise I read this day. It just didn't trigger it for whatever reason. Or you have this effect where you buy a book and it's 3 books in one, but because it's one Kindle file, the Kindle credits you as reading one book, and you read 3 books, and now you're like, oh my God, I need credit for the 3. And then it just becomes a source of stress. A lot of people do Goodreads challenges. That's when in January you set a reading goal. Okay, I'm going to read 30 books this year, whatever it is. And then for a while, it's good because you log into your Goodreads and it's like, oh, you're on track. You are 2 books ahead. But what if it's the other way? And then it says, oh, you need to read 3 books to catch up. Oh, you're not going to make it. That's a source of stress, right? But then we have just stressors coming in from other things, right? People are talking about the books they're reading, and you have this kind of fear of missing out. You want to know what they're reading. You want to read what they're reading. But they've got these, brand new releases that they're talking about. And then you're thinking, oh, I need to read that too. And books are so expensive. So if you go to the library to get those books, they're probably not available because they're the newest release. Maybe your library doesn't carry the latest book of whatever genre it is that you like. Or maybe it does, but there's a waiting list for it now. So you've got to go buy this book to feel like you're not missing something. And it gets expensive. The other trend I see is, since I switched my channel from talking about English videos to more book-related content, I've been watching more Booktube videos and booktok videos and this kind of thing. And people will have these gorgeous collections. They have beautiful libraries with just shelves just packed full of just gorgeous books. Some are color-coded. Where do you have room in your house for all of these books? And how do you afford all of these books? I remember reading or watching a video of one booktalker who had this gorgeous book, and it was the collector's edition that she had, and she was never going to open it and read it. She was just going to put it on her shelf to look pretty. And she had this other copy that she was reading. I mean, that's a lot to keep up with, if you were trying to keep up with that kind of trend, or you were trying to make a booktube channel where you felt like you needed to have these gorgeous shelves. Oh my gosh, I can't do that. But we have enough distractions. We have stressors from everywhere, and books are supposed to be an escape from real life, right? It's hard enough to stay focused on reading when you want to read. I mean, how many of you have this intention that you're going to lay down in your bed, you're going to read a book, and then you're going to go to sleep, but you pick up your phone and you start scrolling. Pretty soon you're downloading apps to try to make your phone prevent you from using your phone. And to have that, and then also having a stress of having to keep up with certain numbers of books, or you have to read the certain thing, I know there's a lot of stress that goes into like a booktube channel where you're like, oh, what can I read to make you watch my videos? Oh, it just goes on and on and on and on. And I think we lose sight of the fact that books are supposed to be a long form entertainment that takes you, sucks you in, and makes you forget about all the external noise. I think if we can remember that and not feel like we have to fit into something particular, or we have to meet this goal, or we have to meet this challenge, honestly, for our own mental health, I think that's important. Instead of trying to have a numbers game with yourself, just pick something. Just sit down and read it. If you're a Kindle person, read it on a Kindle. If you're an audiobook person, read it on an audiobook. That's also another debate where people are judging themselves. Like, am I really reading a book if I listen to it? I feel like there's just so much stress that comes into this. And our modern times are crazy. I don't know. I guess I got off topic there, but this whole idea that we're reading less and less. Are you surprised? Because I'm not, when you think about all the pressures that come along with it. If you can set yourself up and make it complicated, or you can just go to the library and pick up something and just read it. It's scary to imagine a world if we continue on this trajectory of not reading and not having the ability to read and engage with something, think about it. I think it's a very independent activity where you're just with your own thoughts, your own ideas. You're reading a book, you're letting the story take you away from yourself, and you're putting yourself into this other situation, and then you think about it and you reflect on it, and it affects you as a person. You learn more about humanity that way. Maybe it's not supposed to be a social action. It can be. It's fun to talk about what you read to other people, but it doesn't have to be, and it doesn't have to be a contest, and it doesn't have to be a game you play with yourself of how to convince yourself to put the phone down in order to pick up the book. I mean, I don't know. What are your thoughts on all of this? Like, to me, I feel like we have so many stressors coming in from everywhere. And I guess now I'm starting to realize how much of a stressor just reading books can be. Instead of it just being an escape, it's now some sort of game we're playing with ourselves. I don't know. Tell me about you. Share your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for joining today.